welcome to AI Revolution Digest, where businesses get smarter. I'm Jesslyn, and I'm going to show you how AI drives real results. And because the future is awaiting, let's dive right in. Good morning, everyone. Let's welcome the leader who is redefining how communities access clean energy and water. Let's welcome our very special guest for today, Sir Andy Dongay. Sir, thank you for being here. Can you tell our listeners who are you and what is it that you do?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Good morning to all your subscribers and followers, Jess. I'm Andy Dongay. My real name is Andrew Dongay, and I'm the general manager of Greenergy Development Corporation. We are actually a company based in the Philippines and focus on renewable and sustainable energy. We've been in business since 2008. Um, Started with hydro projects, and now we are also into solar rooftops and all the other energy related businesses.
Thank you for that. So my question would be when we say sustainable future, because that's what your
So,
business is about. Whose future are you building and who might be
yeah.
left behind in the process?
Well, we're talking about the future of um, i- communities and the island or the Philippines as a whole, because as you know, Philippines has been a consumer economy ever since, especially when you talk about energy and power. We are so dependent on oil producing countries, and even if majority of our power is coming from coal, the coal still we import from other countries. So right now, we're trying to change that one step at a time, and this is through solar solutions and other forms of uh, energy solutions that we can provide directly to the consumers and the households.
So can you tell us what's the hardest thing about running this business?
Well, this is a greenfield since we started 2008. Um, for us, this is a greenfield project. This is something that everyone was already into this business. So the hardest part is starting. We still call ourselves a startup because this is a new industry we're going into. When we started, but now it's a different story. There's a lot of there are a lot of installers already in the industry, so you can call or you can search just in the internet. You can get anyone who can do the installation and install it in your household. So at first, there are a lot of struggles as a startup business.
So can you tell us more about what made you interested in energy? Because your background is an engineer. As an engineer, you can be working at different fields.
Yeah,
So what
my background is actually technical in nature. I'm a manufacturing engineering and management graduate, but I was exposed to the energy field because of my father. He used to run the National Power Corporation. That's why I'm now in this space because I was also a bit influenced by him. So we're doing some solutions and how we can address the energy problem here in the Philippines in our own little way.
Mhm. So my question for you is, there's a lot of tech or hype around AI nowadays where every company seems to always be putting AI products. So I want to know your mindset as an engineer. Is there a moment where too much engineering wouldn't solve the real problem?
Um, yeah, AI, I've been adopting it. I've learned it in graduate school with your father. Ever since I've adopted it, and I'm now. in the process of integrating it in our day-to-day activities. Um, but there are some stuff that you cannot solve with AI yet. Maybe in the near future there will be some improvements, But as an as an a technology company, we have to be able to know what is happening around us so that we can adapt and learn, because with the age of AI, our business could be gone in just few months, and that could easily happen. But so far, we are adapting, and in fact, right now, I have a specific department where our people are really applying AI and are data scientists. So we are currently modernizing and transforming the way we do things in our company, in our organization.
When you said you're using AI, what part of the business do you believe AI will be most useful? For example, you talk about data, so what type of data collection are you doing?
There are two. I think AI can be applied in all parts of the organization, but the most important, I believe, is for now, trying to set up that transition is the in as far as marketing and sales is concerned. That's one. Data is very important in order for you to capture a greater chunk of the market. Number two, it's in the project management, effective ways and means to be able to manage your resources to effectively complete the projects at hand.
Mhm. So you said that, oh, AI is going to be there. It might automate everything. Perhaps in a few months, our business would go out. So my question would be, how do you decide when to automate and when to keep a process the way that it is now?
Well, it it should always be automated. When we were taught in business school that if you cannot automate things, if you cannot do digitalization, then you can never grow. You can still be a business, but a small time businessman or a small time organization. But if you really want to grow and scale up your business, automation with AI is the key. So it's not something that I just want to, but it's a must in order for me to expand and grow the business.
So with all this AI, my question for you is what type of business skills are most needed that AI would not replace? So perhaps skills that you want your children to be more competent on.
I've been telling my people the, the people in my organization that AI is a very important tool to improve the organization, to improve their day-to-day um, tasks. But AI should not, they should never be afraid of AI, but be aware that AI could be replacing anyone anytime soon, especially those repetitive tasks, those
Mm.
administrative tasks. There is no delay when you ask AI to come up with projects. There's no delay. There's no excuses. There's no complaints. But that's why they have to use it, and but they do not need to worry about it, because the most dangerous is a person who knows how to use AI.
Mhm.
So you have to skill to level up and be experts in AI so that you can continue to do contribute a lot to the organization.
Thank you. My question was, you have kids and your kids will
Yeah.
be entering the workforce and the age of AI when it's already perhaps better than what we have today. So by that time, what skill set do you think they'll most need?
Well, creativity is one. Being resourceful is one because AI is just there, but knowing what to ask and how to ask it, it's a different story. They call it prompt engineering. So right now they're already exposed to AI because I think they're doing some research through AI. But I think they still need to get trained on it. I'm thinking of there are already a lot of AI seminars, online seminars for kids. So I'm planning to enroll them in soonest. Especially
When
now, it's summer, it's vacation time.
when you say AI is a huge thing. It's not just well, ChatGPT is LLMs. You have machine learning, then you have deep machine learning, then you also have the hardware side of AI, where that's the robots that can automate working in the factory. So, what type of, like, which field of AI do you want your children to be more focused on, and why?
Probably right now more of the chat GPT side and all these search engines, but that's just for a start. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree that AI it has a very big scope, and sooner they will be exposed to that also. So first things first, just the basics of AI. I'd like them to know about that.
Perhaps they can just watch YouTube. Like, there's a lot of playlists in YouTube to talk about AI. So, my
Maybe you
question now,
maybe you can
yeah,
suggest sites that they can also visit, and I'll require them to watch on it,
you
and
require them to watch
maybe
it.
watch this podcast of yours. I'll ask them
Okay,
to
they'll
watch this.
watch your first episode. After this,
Yeah.
I'll send you the raw version so they can watch it right away. So, my question now is, you said that you have a team of engineers, and what I know is for engineers, you're very systematic. You want things done in a certain way. So now you have AI that comes and disrupts your system. So I can imagine that you have people that are worried, or there might be quite hesitant to adopt to AI. So my question would be, how do you encourage these people to adopt?
um if you compare my our business with other big companies, we're still a small one. So
Mm-hmm.
we have it's not that disruptive yet. We are still Some of our works are still on a manual mode. So there is still this transition, and they cannot see you could not it's not so um clear to them, the effect. It's not that very clear because it's we're still in transition stage, and it's between me and the group of data scientists doing these systems using AI. But in as far as the technical group is concerned, I've been introducing the AI. You can solve your problems easily with the we're all subscribed to Gemini. So you can just ask the questions to all your problems in the field. Well, there is a need of transition, and we are still in the AI needs a lot of data, and right
Mm-hmm.
now the data is still in the documents. So there is a team right now um, which I have asked to input all those data into the system so that AI will have a basis. Without data, what can AI come up with if there's no data to begin with? So that's the challenge there. So if we are all doing this in documents and in paper, so there will have to be a process of putting all this data from documents from paper to the digital world. And that's how we start with AI. But we are already starting with a system. It's already being developed, and it should be done simultaneously so that when the data is already available and the system of AI is already there, so it would be easier for us to implement AI initiatives. In fact, right now, for so many things on the plate, and I have a contest with our within the organization who to submit every month improvement initiative or innovations that they have undertaken, especially with respect to artificial intelligence. And they will have a reward if there will be a set of judges, and they will be rewarded for whatever innovations they have within the organization.
What was the AI adoption or the AI innovation that struck you the most when they presented the
Uh,
project?
we, we, we just started, I
Okay.
just rolled it out a few weeks ago. So I have yet to see. But the AI group, the AI department, uh, with all the data scientists were actually very excited. But I told them you're not part of the reward system because that's your role to make AI be available to each and every department.
Okay. So my question would be, when you have a new system, let's say your contest has the winner, then you already have this new product to innovate your business. And then let's say, just like new technologies, when it's out there, there's a lot of resistance. So my question is, how do you differentiate between a people problem and a system design problem?
People problem versus design problem.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the design are you talking about the product development or just the how we do the day-to-day activities in our organization? What do
It
you
can
mean?
be
Can you
both.
elaborate?
Like
Okay.
it can be both, like whatever you want to share.
Design. So it should be a match, no? For me, there should be a match between people and the system. So people should be able to understand. Your staff should be able to understand the beauty of these tools, while the tools also needs to be modified um to your liking, or to how you do things in your organization, because it should be adaptable because the tools can be general, but for a specific business you also need specific tools, so you need to modify those tools. And that's why the data scientist comes in, where they can do the modification. So, and also the people, your organization should be able to adapt this. Like, just like one example, I have staff who is already um in the upper age limit. Okay, so they, supposed to be they should be resting and relaxing already, but still with our organization. So meaning to say, hindi masyado, not so tech savvy, not so computer literate, but I've seen him strive to learn. So that's where you try to communicate to them that there is these tools that will make your day-to-day work easier and faster. So you still have to communicate that. and inform everyone that there is this tool, and we have no choice but to adapt and use these tools. Otherwise, we we get obsolete in the market, or we get obsolete as a business if we do not adapt to this. So very important to me during the interviews when I get new people, new hires, is being able is there awareness of the AI already, so that it would be easier for them to apply these tools to contribute to the welfare of the organization. Did I
I think you
answer
said
you?
Yeah, it did. I think what you said, what's most important is communication skills will be the number one skill that kids or your workers nowadays. Because even though you have all these AI tools, at the end of the day, it's people who's going to make the decisions. So when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
there, let's say
Agreed.
you're talking with a client, you're talking with a government official, if you want to get a project, you need to persuade them to say
True.
yes to you, right? You need to be able to influence people to do what
Yeah.
needs to be done, not just as an employee, but especially you as
Mhm.
a leader. You need to be able to convince and lead your people to transform. So in your career, has there been a project that you wish you had pushed but didn't?
We tried actually this. I've been in the When you talk about manufacturing engineering, my background, it's really about automation. No? So I've been doing this. Um, I've been applying sys systems improvement since day one. But I know how to program. I know that was my background, but to go into the real programmer, I do not have the time to do that. So I had another outsourced guys doing that for me. But the problem is, um, it took them so long to come up with an improvement, a systems improvement. I have the sales management app, I have the project management app, but it's too long. It's too long, to the point that I got so frustrated. Then here comes AI, and with the data scientists and with all these tools, even the data scientists, they do not need to program anymore. So as Jensen was saying, we will be coming up with a computer that no one needs to program anymore, because the program is already there. All you need to do is to do some tweaking, and you can have an existing program for you, customized for you. And
Mhm.
that's, I think, is the role of the data scientist, getting these tools, getting these programs, and integrating it to our system.
Right. So my question now is, you are very much aware about AI. In fact, a while ago you said it's one of the things you're looking for in your employees or when doing interviews is whether or not they know one of the things that's happening in AI. So we know that AI is just a tool. We have heard a lot about the good things, but there are also some risk with AI. So what I've heard is you said a while ago you're teaching your kids to use ChatGPT and all these AI tools. But as a parent, what do you see is the risk of AI and how do you protect your kids against it?
I'm not sure the extent of their usage of AI as of now, but I've heard that they have been using AI already, like the Chat GPT. I know there are a lot of risks with that. I'm yet to figure out what are that kind of risks, but for the meantime, just introducing it is is already the first step towards introducing and having the learning the basics of it is just the first step. And maybe I'll be searching also for answers, the risks that are involved there. um Mostly I've seen them watch YouTube and other videos, which sometimes I do not agree that the language are foul. So we try to stop that and change to another movie or change to another platform. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you one of the risks. One of the risks now with AI is it can do a lot of scam calls where it can imitate your voice, right? So your kid can be down, then they'll get a phone from a known phone number. And once they pick up the phone, they hear your voice. You're saying, hey, just go down to the lobby, I'll be there. And they'll go down there and something bad might happen to them. And this is a real risk. It's one of the risks that banks nowadays are looking at because banks, when, for example, you're in China, then you get a big purchase. What banks will often do is they'll come and call you, right? And say, hey, is this really Sir Andy Dongay? Is it true that you're in this location? You're buying these things? But now we have AI that can imitate you in your voice and your way of communication. So let's say that were to happen to your kids. How do you ensure that who they're speaking to is actually you and not an AI version of you?
Just like just like when we were in grad school with your dad, you fight AI with AI. You fight AI with
What do you
AI.
mean?
So we had an issue before that some students were using AI. So I'm 100% for that, But
Mm-hmm.
in a way that it's not really the 100% is not coming from AI, but you use it as a tool. Now, what the how they check, how do they do check and balance? They also use AI to detect that if there is an AI. So probably there will also be apps related to that concern, addressing that concern to be able to determine that even if it's the same voice you hear, an AI app could flag that, it's not it's not just it may sound like Jocelyn's voice, but it's not Jocelyn,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So probably they will also be addressing that. True, especially in the financial institutions, it's very risky, and anyone could copy your voice, do the emails, sound like you. I've heard of that already in chats. If someone can hack your account and read all your previous conversations, then they can come up with a message to everyone, adapting to the way you talk, asking for money or help or whatever. So I've heard of that. Yeah, it's a very risky. So first is awareness. I'll tell them about that so that they will be aware, so that they won't get scammed or they won't be a victim of this kind of scams in the future.
I think one of the biggest risks with AI is deep fakes. It's when someone looks like you, but it's not actually you. So you know a lot of deep fakes in Facebook and YouTube, and you said that your kids are always in these platforms. So how do you teach your kids to know what's real and what's not? Because they're now in an age where what's created by AI and what's real, it's blurring the lines. Unlike us before, I mean, during our time, once we see CGI, we know it's fake. Like it's not that good. You know it's CGI. But
Yeah.
now it's like very, very real. Or the fact that you know, you look at YouTube and you feel like it's a politician who's saying that, but when you read through the comments, is when you realize it's actually fake or it's a deep fake of that person. So how do you help your kids know about this?
I go back to awareness again. They should be aware that that is happening. I would understand for people with age more probably more than 50 years old has difficulty in will have difficulty in distinguishing, determining whether it's a fake or not. But in my generation, I think we've I've we were also in the point that if it's a CGI, you can already determine because it was also the age of the gaming.
Mhm.
So, but you see now the games look so real, look so real. The facial, everything is so real, and but you're already aware that it could be some computer generated graphics only. But now with AI, it's the adoption. I mean, it has been accelerated. So that like what you said, the deep fake. So first and foremost, you have to be aware that this is happening. So teaching your kids that there is this thing they call deep fake that could be I mean it could distort the reality is already one thing. Second one is to really lot of not just um, photos and videos, but also even the news are fake news. We call that there's so many in the Philippines fake news. Just the awareness that anyone could be capitalizing on this, and it's up to you to determine whether it's fake or not.
My question would be, since we're in the topic of AI risk, which among these risks will be the highest one that will impact your industry the most?
AI.
Because a while ago you said everything should be digital, it should be
The
optimized.
I'm worried of a startup company or a competitor who's already established AI in how they do things. So
Mhm.
that would be the greatest risk or threat. Because if we have not adapted to AI and there is another company very well versed and AI is already the heart and soul of their company, then I could be gone anytime. Yeah. So for me, you have I have to really put myself into pressure that we have to be adapting AI because the risk for as a company or as a business is a business who
Mhm.
has fully grasped the potential of AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question will be is, you're very bullish about AI. Like AI is the future. We should always go with AI. And in fact, when you said in business school, if you're not automating things, you won't be scaling. Right? But my question would be, what part of the business, aside from the communication side, do you believe that AI won't be able to do a good job? That by actually using AI to automate, it will actually make your scale smaller.
Maybe the strategy part, even execution of the strategy. That's there's a skill that I think but as a leader, executing those strategies because the strategies you can also get from AI. You can already get an idea from AI. So the challenge there would be how you implement and execute those.
Thank you, sir. So thank you everyone for listening and see you in our next episode. Goodbye.